Yes, people. What is going down? I'm back with another live. I've just got some music updates for you. A couple of slight, small, little updates. Um, we'll kick off with the most important one, the biggest one, if you like. And those of you may or may not know that nearly 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago today, officially, I announced that I'd been training for commercial radio and I was going on board with a commercial FM station. Well, about a week ago, I believe it would have been just over a week ago, I got a little bit of confirmation and a bit of updates regarding the radio station and me going forward with the station. So I'm just giving you guys a little sort of update, like no announcement, but like an update that I'm gonna be announcing very soon, like what I'm gonna be doing with radio going forward. So this stream is kind of gonna be more updates, not necessarily announcements, but there's gonna kind of be a couple of announcements, but they're not like I can't go into too much detail regarding the announcements. I can only say like sort of briefly regarding the announcements. But yeah, so the first one, like I say, is radio. So I'll know very soon, like to be able to like can't get my words out. So very soon I'll be able to tell you guys exactly when I'm going on to radio, what day I'm going to be on the radio, and I'll tell you more about exactly how you can tune in, how you can listen in, and it is a commercial FM station, so although it is a commercial FM station, don't get me wrong. Like if you're not in the Hull area, like you will still be able to listen. Like we are online and stuff as well. So don't think because it's FM you've got to be in our area to pick it up. Like you can get an official app, or you can just go onto the tuning app and you can just find it on there. Or to my knowledge, that I didn't even know till yesterday, there's an actual app and you can pick up any radio station across the whole entire world. You get this like massive map and there's loads of little green dots, and you just highlight over the green dots like over the country, like you've just got a map of the world, and it'll pick up like stations from that area, and you can even like go into as much detail as to find like local radio stations in that area as well. So, like if I wanted to right now, I could just go and see what's going on, say, like a Chinese radio station. So it was quite a cool and clever thing to do. But you can still pick up all the like UK stations, so you can still find like even Hull Kingston Radio, for example, um, on there. But one thing that did blow my mind is some of you may or may not know, I used to live in a town called Driffield, and not too long back, they got a license for to start a new FM station called Great Driffield Radio, and that's been running now for about probably 3 or 4 years, if not a bit longer. Um, and they haven't even put any, you can't pick it up on that app for some reason. Very weird. But it's a really cool app. But the point that I'm trying to come across is that even though I'm on FM, if you're not in my area, so if you live right down south, because I know I've got like friends and in the music scene, and people that I know that maybe live up north or live out of the area, to the point where if you're driving along in your car to the shop, like you won't pick it up like via the normal FM because you'd be too far from the mast. So I'm just saying that you can go on to the apps and things, and you can pick up the station that way, which is it's quite sort of, you would expect that anyway. We're in 2022. FM is kind of, I'm not saying a thing of the past, but like a station isn't going to do half as well nowadays, like without having the ability to listen to it online. Um, especially now, like with the likes of someone like me coming on board to the station and having so many like fans and followers that live across the country and don't necessarily just live in the whole area. Like, because if it was just stricted to the FM and, pick it up when you're near the mast, like it would have been years ago. Obviously, like my friend down in Leicester, he's not going to pick it up, is he? So obviously, it makes sense that you would have the online features. But nevertheless, I'm looking forward to it. It's a really fun thing to do. Is commercial radio, and it's just something that takes you out of your comfort zone because you kind of got to do a bit of what you like and then you've kind of got to do a bit of what you don't like. So for example, like you've got to read out like the weather and stuff like that. Now me personally, like I actually quite enjoyed it because I felt kind of quite important, like giving out the weather forecast. But some people like find that bit boring, and when you've got to like read like passages out and information out. But for me, that was all part of the fun. Like I kind of wanted to come on this station and not kind of do what I normally do, which is like be all raved up. I kind of wanted to be the guy that would like read out the weather and maybe the travel or whatever. So I wanted to kind of do something that was going to take me out of my comfort zone. Do you know what I mean? Something that was just going to be a little bit different for me. So I'm looking forward to it. And pitch me some ideas for my show together. What I'm going to do when I go on the commercial side of the radio. And I'm looking forward to it. And it's not going to be what people think because I remember making the announcement and loads of rave DJs and rave MCs like, oh, if ever you want an interview, if ever you want any of your track, if ever you're looking for tracks, you can always play some of my tunes. And I get where people are coming from, like they think, oh, it's a great way for them to like pitch up and get in there, and oh, I'll get my tune played on FM radio, blah blah blah. But when it's like a ravey style tune, and I'm not sort of in some sense, like I haven't got full control of what I can do. Like there's limits and boundaries to what I'm going to be able to do. So I can't just go out onto commercial radio and start blasting the next guy's new hardstyle track. It's commercial radio. It's local. It's news. It's weather. It's the greatest hits kind of thing. It's commercial. So it's not necessarily playing underground. Although, like my friend Lee does do the big Saturday night in. He does play like floor fillers and dance anthems, etc. But even then, like he's got limits, and he doesn't, he isn't playing like, he isn't necessarily playing people's like hardcore track and people's bounce tracks as such. He sort of goes to, in a lot of sense, he keeps it like very commercial. So like, the old rave tunes, like are the old like rave '90s dance and stuff like that. That were like commercially released. And then when he goes into his newer half, a lot of it is like newer stuff that has been like properly released, and it's nothing too ravey. I mean, he goes into a bit of D&B, and he sometimes goes into a little bit of bassline, but it's stuff that people know and stuff that's been released, being part of like massive labels, not necessarily something that's been, I don't know, that someone's knocked up in their bedroom on FL Studios. No offences to them people, but commercial radio is a lot different to internet radio. There's limits to things that you can't play, and obviously, if you start blasting out a French cartoon, it's too heavy. But people think, oh yeah, I'll play my tune, or you want an interview. It's not always that environment to do so. I mean, interviews are a little bit more different, but even then, the interviews have got to fit the theme of what you're doing. So, for example, if I'm doing like I don't know, like a show that's involving the chart music, I'm not gonna interview a bounce producer. When he's not having anything to do with the charts. Do you know what I mean? So it's a little bit because I hate like letting people down. Like, but then again, like I don't promise people anything at the same time, and some people just use it as a way to try and get their leg up and try and use and try and claim off of my I don't really know the word, like my like succeeds, like so something, I'm succeeding and people try to use that to try and help them, like, or get a boost up, get a peg up. Like, my tunes aren't really doing well, so if it gets played on commercial radio, it might give it a boost. And I get where people come from. Like, if I was writing a tune and there was a chance for it to get played on commercial radio, I'd be buzzed at the chance. But at the same time, like, like I say, you just can't always do that on commercial radio. So people are going to have to sadly learn the sad truth that I can't, just because I've got into radio doesn't necessarily mean I can help them. As much as I want to help them, and I can't just play people's rave tunes and stuff like that. Unfortunately, even if I was doing like a rave related show, it would have to be like big, like Prodigy. If I went Clubland, it'd have to be like proper like Ultra Beat DD, and it would have to be toned down to the sort of like original mixes, not necessarily like bounce remixes or the hardcore remixes as such. So it's just how it works. And like I say with radio, like I did want to do something different. I can mix hardcore at home. I mean, if I wanted to do a rave related show, I could start. Well, I'm thinking of starting a podcast anyway. I put plans in motion, but I've just been that busy with other things. But I will do like a rave podcast where it will involve like people's up and coming music, and it will involve like interviewing them. Do you know what I mean? But there we go. So that's enough about radio. That's kind of just what I've got to say in regards to radio. But once I do know, like when I'm going to be doing a show, when I'm going to be doing the slot, which I've got a good idea now, but just because everything isn't like completely, totally finalised, like I'm not going to tell you guys because I don't want to tell you one thing that it turns out to be another thing. It's not me. It's not my style. It was the same why when I was doing the radio training, why I didn't tell anybody, because if I'd have been like really bad at the training and the person training me just said, look, radio's not for you, you're struggling, you're not picking it up, we can't go no further with the training, I'd be letting you all down. But obviously I went into training, did really well, smashed it. And then obviously once I went through the training, I was able to make that announcement and say, look, I've come on board. So, yeah. So like I said, that's radio. So next up is a couple of bookings. So I've had a couple of bookings. Well, one of them is a definite booking. The other one is just a little bit open in the air yet. So we'll talk about the one that's not open in the air yet. So a friend of mine, he put a post up the other day. He was thinking about putting a little something on. I won't go into detail because I don't want to spoil anything. So I said I was down. I was offered. Look, I'm down. Look, to help out. Blah blah blah. I'll be buzzing to be involved, just that kind of thing. So he sent me a text and said that I'm on his radar, so he's got me in mind, and he'd definitely love for me to help out and be involved, kind of thing. So I was like, all right, yeah, cool, wicked. And then he announced the date. And sadly, the date clashed with another booking that I'd already taken. So sadly, I was like, well, look, this date's not good for me. I'm already booked somewhere else. Sadly, and then he made an announcement today that the date had actually been pushed back by a week, which then meant this week was good for me, and that I was free that day. I was available to come and do the booking. So I've told the guy obviously that this date now frees me up, but I'm just waiting to to find out more info on whether because obviously I said I couldn't make the original date, so there's a good chance that not in a bad way, but I might have been replaced by somebody else. And then the dates obviously got moved, or he might just say, look, we're going to do another one after this one, in the future. You can definitely be a part of this one if you want. Who knows? But all I know is that at the moment there's a possible booking that's not 100% set in stone, and we're looking in the May time. So May is what we're looking for. It's going to be towards the end of May that I'm aware of. If I go ahead and still end up being a part of it. But I'll let you know when I know. And the next one is a fully confirmed paid booking. I'm definitely doing this one 100%, unless something happens and the event doesn't go ahead for whatever reason. But at the moment, everything's all green light. I've been booked. Quite a beastly little lineup, I think, is coming about with this night. It's going to be in Grimsby, and it's going to be round July time, so it's going to be in July, and basically that's all I can tell you at the moment because there's no more info, there's no flyer. So all I can tell you is I'm going to be booked in. I think it was the 25th of July. I think that's when it was. It's for that date anyway. I believe it's for that date. But it's going to be in July, so it's going to be like in the middle of the summer. So it's going to be a belting sort of, just before the summer holidays kind of thing. It's going to be rolling out in all fullness. It's going to be wicked. It's going to be full of hardcore madness and all your rave tunes. So I'm looking forward to it. So July, it's another one. And then I've possibly got something, possibly for September, but it's not set in stone. So when I say not set in stone, like again, it's kind of it's like the one in May. It's like the one in May, but even more sort of like unknowing. I just know that there's possibly something in May, something in September, sorry, that I might be a part of. And the only sort of clue and hint I can give you is last September I took a booking in last September, and all I can tell you is it's going to be with this. It'll be with the same brand. It'll be with the same brand because they'll be celebrating a year in the game, and that's all I can say. But it's not set in stone. It's just there's like plans in progress to put like some birthday thing on and get a few people involved, I think. But like I say, don't judge me on it, don't count me on it. I just know there's possibly going to be something in September, but I'm not certain. I only know that there's a possibility, but that's all I know. I can't tell you any more. Can't, I can't even tell you any less because all I know is there's a possibility of something in September. It's very, at the moment it's like it's too far ahead for me to even know. Like I couldn't even tell you a date. I just know possibly September. I just know possibly I will be involved, but I can't tell you for certain. I just know that there's this slight possibility of something possibly happening. That's all I know. That is like that's it. That's literally it. But yeah, and then obviously don't forget coming up in a couple of weeks, Clubland Vibes, Stomping the 21st of May. Also in September we've got the Great British Rave Off, which is absolutely belting. I'm looking forward to that one. That one's going to be good. And yeah, again, there was possibly going to be something on the 9th of April, but I don't. I didn't hear any more about it, so I'm thinking now it's getting a little bit to the point where it's going to be too close, too near the date now, to the point where it won't be worth putting it on because it would like literally be not this weekend but next weekend. So I'm a little bit like I was a bit gutted because what I got told about this booking sounded quite interesting. But I just don't think they got it all like organised in time. So I don't know if it's going to get rescheduled. I don't know if anything's going to happen. If there's going to be like a new date for it, or if it's just never going to go ahead. I've got no clue. I mean, I don't fully know what it was. I just know that I got told by a good friend of mine that we'd both been asked to do this booking. He was going to host me, I was going to DJ, and that's about as much as I knew. I knew where the venue was going to be, but that's all I knew. I didn't know like who else was going to be playing. I was only told like the bare minimal. As I was asked if I would play myself, I've got you this set, is this date good? And that was literally it. And half of the time, that is all I get in regards to a booking. Like, if someone books you, like if you don't get booked much yourself, you won't know. But if you get booked yourself, like 9 times out of 10, you'll just get asked to play a night, and you won't necessarily know like until a little bit later down the line who's going to be playing. So like you'll get asked, and sometimes like if you're going to be MCing, you'll get told like who you're MCing for. But other than that, like they don't go ahead and tell you the whole lineup, because 9 times out of 10, as they're asking you, they're asking other people at the same time. So the lineup's not always built. Do you know what I mean? So when you get asked, there still could be like 6 other DJs to ask. Do you know what I mean? Depending like whether they asked you first or they asked other people. It depends, what goes on. So sometimes I'll only know like where I'm playing, when I'm playing, like the date. And obviously sometimes I'll know the event brand. But if it's like a friend who's got me the booking, he likes to keep it a secret from me. So he likes to sort of not tell me, because it makes it more exciting. Because he knows that we're on like a good journey together. He knows I've got good things coming. So for all I know, and this is like seriously on a level, right? I could have like another 3 bookings in the pipeline that he knows about, that are like for later on in the year, but he won't tell me. So like it'll just keep me in suspense. But I know that he knows things behind the scenes are going on, and he knows like he knows if I've got good things coming my way. So and he'll just smirk to himself, and he'll laugh and he'll smile, and he'll know that I've got some good things coming, but he won't tell me. And this is what makes it quite funny. It's quite good because I kind of like that not knowing, but then part of me like wants to know as well. So I'm a bit like, I want to know what this is, but then part of me doesn't, because like I don't want to spoil the surprise. Do you know what I mean? Like if it's something really good and then I just go and find out and blow it, like with a Great British Rave Off, I knew nothing about it. Didn't know the location, didn't know the brand, didn't know the lineup. All I knew is that there was something coming up, and that's all I knew until I saw the flyer, and it was one hell of a surprise. I mean, there's legends on there like Scott Brown, Easy Vibe, Slay, Sid P, Marcus, some Nats, some really good like legends on the flyer, and I'm thinking I'm pretty privileged to be a part of the night. Rave Logic, and I'm a part of it. But it was so exciting not knowing, and not knowing like what you're gonna be a part of, and then just seeing that massive flyer drop and think, holy smokeroonies, I'm a part of this. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I had to even look twice. I didn't even spot my name at first, because I wasn't looking for it. It was just so unexpected. The promoter just drops a flyer in my inbox. Bearing in mind, like, I know the guy and I've spoken to him before, but we've never spoken regarding, like, any form of a booking. So all I know is I went down to like a Rave Logic studio thing with Lee. Just after Christmas it was. It was like the day after Boxing Day or something like that. And literally it was a little studio thing. A couple of DJs. I got a little chance to go on the mic, and that was it. And then there was like, oh yeah, you did good on the mic, blah blah blah, really good. You're actually quite good, blah blah blah. And then I never like really heard much else. I never spoke to them really much after that. I was like, oh yeah, thanks for having me down. Just liked and shared a few posts on Facebook, but there was never any speak about a booking. There was never like anything regarding a booking, or oh, we're gonna put you on at a future event. There was just like yeah, I knew like they wanted to work with me again, but there was nothing in the pipeline. I wasn't told that I was going to be. And then obviously my friend had just planned it all behind the scenes, and because I wasn't expecting it, It was just so sort of unexpected. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, because I didn't really know what was happening, it just made the surprise like so much more like like, you know, even if I knew like, oh, you're gonna be playing for Rave Logic, but you don't know the lineup, it's still like not as sort of exciting as to not even knowing the brand you're gonna be playing at, and then to be playing at the legendary Doncaster Warehouse as well. Do you know what I mean? That just like, that was almost like added the you know, more fuel to the excitement. You know, Doncaster Warehouse is legendary. It's been running since the early 90s. Well, that's sort of as, I don't know what the word would be. That's kind of. I mean, I don't physically know how long it's been running. To be honest, I don't know when it first opened. I'm guessing like years back, it would have been like an actual working warehouse or something. It has got that sort of warehouse look to it, where like you could picture it being like an actual, like, I don't know, like a warehouse years ago, before it ever like became a club or anything like that. But it is such a legendary place, and it's just an amazing place to be a part of, and you know, even to go to events, they're always a banging time. So, you know, what can I say? You know, it's gonna be, you know, gonna be belted. But yeah, so this was just a quick little stream, really, just with a few little updates. So when I get more like information regarding these updates, so obviously, like I say, for the um for the booking in July, once I know a bit more, I'll shed the light. Obviously, if I do get booked for this other one in May, obviously again I'll shed the light. If you know, when I know more about radio, you know, I'll shed the light when I'm gonna be, you know, doing a show and things. And then other than that, you know, that's all I can really do or say for the moment. But yeah, I like to come live, keep you all updated. It's like my own little way, because like with Facebook, I do posts, and Instagram, I put pictures up, and YouTube is just like come live and do it this way. You know, it's just my way of announcing all my social medias. You know, letting people know, updating all my socials basically. That's how I kind of use YouTube. You know, sort of today. Whereas back in the day, it would have more been different. You know, I mean, I remember when I used to do the ones on the PS4, and there used to be a picture of the flyer. I used to talk, and it was quite a clever way to do it. But obviously, I don't have a PS4 anymore. I got rid of it. For those of you who do or don't know, part of me regrets it. Part of me doesn't. Like there's odd days where I miss it. And when I say odd days, only really is odd days. Like maybe a night like tonight, I maybe would think like, do you know what? Once I've finished up this live, it'd be good to just go and blast out a bit of GTA or something. But other than that, I couldn't really tell you that I'm that fussed. Like, you know, like a lot of days, especially like when I'm busy music wise. I just haven't really, you know, thought too much about the PlayStation going back on it. I do miss a couple of the people I used to play online with. I mean, a big one was Ant. We was actually like, you know, quite close friends. Um, I think we only ever fell out like a couple of times, and that was about it. Then there was a guy called Steve. He was always a sound guy. Good old Stephen. Still does well on YouTube himself. He's growing in subscribers. You know, he's sort of followed his route. I followed my route. We've both kind of been doing well with it. Like you know, I started getting all my bookings, blah blah blah. He started growing in subscribers, which is what he wanted to do, and you know, he become like quite a big gaming YouTuber. So we've kind of gone our separate ways, but we both sort of like still now and again kept in contact, and we've seen each other's progress, and you know, I'm proud of Steve's progress. progress. He's done well with his channel. He's built it up well. He's got a good community on there, and he's really good at what he does on YouTube. He's really good at sort of being entertaining and just being an all-round nice guy on the channel. You don't get any bad vibes off of him. He's not coming live and shouting and swearing and arguing with his viewers and listeners. He's having that real positive mindset, and being entertaining and just having a general laugh, and just bringing a good positive channel to YouTube, which is what we need, especially with all the shit that goes on in the world. All the fake shit like fake COVID, and people wearing masks and all of that stuff. And then obviously, because COVID ended, we had to start. We had to have a war to take people's mind off of COVID, and obviously to hide what's going on with the currency and how we're going into the cashless society. But I won't start truthing too much on here. But it is how it is. I say that I watched a very interesting video from a guy called Alaskans yesterday. He's a DJ tutor. He's been a DJ tutor on YouTube for years, and he's done some decent videos over the years. But now and again, he will do a video that's not DJ related. And he did do one about the currency and about the money and stuff yesterday. And it was quite an interesting video. I mean, as a matter of fact, I did fall asleep while it was on, but that was not through boredom, and I only fell asleep right near the end of it. But he does make decent videos. I would recommend following him. Like, if you are sort of a little bit interested in going down the rabbit hole, if you like, or if you just want to read a few little things, or research and look into a few little things, just have a little look and a nosy. But I will guarantee that once you start looking and reading, it is incredibly hard to turn back. Like, once you start going down the rabbit hole, there's no way back. And a lot of people that don't look and read down the rabbit hole, we're just crazy people to them. We don't want to help people. We don't want to save lives and all the rest of it. Bearing in mind that what's in the vaccine has been killing people, and now it's apparently got HIV in it, and you've got to get tested for HIV. And then they're on about whether they should bring another jab out or not, and people just think it's normal, and we need to take this other jab, and it's going to save us. It's going to protect people. I mean, half of the people I know have been jabbed. But there's only a small minority of people that haven't been jabbed, and it's crazy how brainwashed we get. How brainwashed we get to the point where there's only a small percentage of people that are actually doing the right thing, and the rest of us have all been brainwashed into doing something that is wrong, but we're made to think it's right, and we're made to think that we need to do it. People, they could bring out, I don't know, 10 different jabs, and there'll still be people out there that think they need to take that 10th jab. And this is how sad, like, the world has actually got. It's such a shameful thing. But like I say, I don't want to ramble and go on and on and over it. But, if you do want to look into things and read things, just research and watch videos. Again, there's a guy out there called The Voice of Reason. He's quite another good, interesting guy to watch. So rather than listening to me ramble on, because I'm only just sort of still researching myself, and I'm not an expert in all this, and there's people that know way more than me and can probably make more sense than me. So I'm saying, like, go and watch other people, because they more know what they're doing as opposed to me. But I'm just starting to learn things, and I do like to shed my little bit of knowledge, but I don't like to ramble on and bore people with it. So yeah, but anyway, like I say, I'll keep you updated on the gigs. I'll keep you updated on the radio, everything that's going on. Be sure to like and subscribe and click the bell so you never miss it. Like, if I upload or if I go live, I try to get footage from gigs as well as doing the streams. And I try anything that I feel is interesting to go up. I put it up. But other than that, just keep your eyes peeled. So like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take it easy. Let's go. Woo!